Obviously very pleased to get the victory. There's many things to improve on. We all know that. Our team knows that. I don't think they're satisfied, but again, we'll take the victory at any time. Our players are appreciative to get to be 1-0. We all know what Toledo's capable of, and they weren't going to go away. I would have liked to have seen us get a stop, once we go up 15, and credit them. They make the plays and get the big drive starter, the 22-yard gain on first down. Got them moving and got the score and made it close there late. On the other side of the ball, I'd like to see us get a first down and have an opportunity to put the game away in the 4-minute drill, prior to them taking that possession at the end. So, I thought we did some good things early in the game in particular. Defense was playing very good. Had the turnover to set us up with the first score. Offensively, I felt like we were going to get in rhythm, and we hurt ourselves. We had the decision on the safety. Zach's going to hand that ball off. He knows that. There's no read there. He's going to hand it, and we got to grind our way off the goal line there. And that took a complete possession away for us because that was first down. And then I believe it was we get the fourth down stop, and it was on second down we fumble. I feel like we were going to get into a rhythm and get moving there. We had good field position, and the fumble hurt us. So there's things that we did to shot ourselves in the foot that we have to get corrected. But the good side of it is that we overcame those bad plays and won the football game and beat a very good team. That's getting top 25 votes, so it's not like they're a bad team, and we got the victory. We all know we need to get better. We all know the competition is going to improve, but it's one game, and it's a step in the right direction, and we got to go back to work and hopefully get that improvement that we all like to see between week 1 and week 2.
Coach, Dante and Seth both had big games today. Can you just talk about the play of both of those guys?
They're good players. I'm glad you saw that today. I'm glad we, had an opportunity to get them in the open field. Dante, there was an impressive run after the long drive that Toledo had to cut it, one-play drive, and Dante rips off the touchdown run. You could see the big guy we talked about in the offseason that, yes, he's a big boy and he's powerful, but he showed great speed there again to take it, for a 78-yard run. And same with Seth. I think both of those guys need reps on our field as well. In the scrimmages, they were really limited. They both played a lot of football, and their running backs, they're going to take a lot of hits through this year. And so I think with the footwork and the footing of our field, hopefully they'll continue to improve and get more comfortable because they did slip a few times as well.
Did the offense look better in the scrimmages? I mean, because those two guys who played really weren't even involved. Mm-hmm. Did you have more momentum, or were you expecting the passing game to?
Yeah, I did expect the passing game to be better today. I felt like we were, off on some shots down the field. I think we connect on one or two of those that were close. I think you feel a little different. We all feel a little different. So I think working on that and trying to push the ball down the field. It was off today, and we need to improve, and I'm sure we will.
Seems like the tight end's got a lot of targets today. Was that kind of the game plan going into it?
It just where it falls in on the reads and on his progressions where it's at. I mean, we believe in those guys. We want to continue to get them touches, but like you've heard me say many times, as we get first downs and we don't have a one-play drive that goes for a safety, we don't have a two-play drive and turn it over. If we get more reps, more first downs, we're going to get more touches, more yards, and so on.
Pass rush today, is that sort of what you expected to see from them in the last setting?
Yeah, I did. I think, they were disruptive, and we need to be. I'm not sure how many sacks we had, but I know we were very disruptive and, in his face. But as I mentioned, prior to this game, I mean, their QB is used to that. He does a really nice job under duress and buying time in the pocket, throwing with people in his face, and then also, scrambling to throw the ball when he has time.
Stephen had 2 strip sacks today. They got both the fumbles, but we saw glimpses of that last year. What kind of weapon can Stephen be in those?
Yeah, Stephen is a guy that plays with high energy. He plays very relentless. He plays hard, and and he's a bit undersized, but he plays extremely hard and brings us a lot of juice and energy. So, it's good to see that and good to see him get the pressure.
Mark, how did you feel about your offensive line? I don't think Toledo had a sack, and you did run the ball.
We did run the ball. I thought that was, important. 220. I mean, that was good. So obviously a big improvement in that area. They did have some pressure. I don't think Zach was real comfortable. I think that led to some incompletions and some of our timing and things that I'd like to improve on. But overall, very good. As I mentioned, they're very. It's important to them, and when the game was on the line and things got close, I mean, they wanted to be able to run the ball. And for the last possession, we did kill the clock, and that, in that situation, it was good to get those tough yards, on third down there. So that's what we're looking to improve on.
Mark, JQ had a big play initially, and then you all were able to punch it in 29 yards. How important was that to do that on a short field?
Yeah, it was really important. Really nice play by JQ. Early in that game, it was great to get some field position and get the 7-0 because, we all get antsy and the team, we try to head that off. I mean, everybody, you all have been writing about it, talking about it, and we appreciate that. I mean, we're all excited about the season, but, and then game one, can be frustrating in that way, because you just want to play very well. And, usually it's a bit sloppy, but to play with the lead, even though it wasn't a big lead, but to play with the lead was helpful.
Mark, you noted a couple times last year that Cowie had really long range and made some kicks in practice at 60. I don't think it was quite 60, but you were in the fringe kind of zone a couple of times. Did you ever consider rolling him out there for a long kick?
I didn't at that point in time. The way our defense was playing, I know he has the leg for that, but I don't know what the percentage is on that. It's not like we kick them 60 yarders off. It might be one a day. You know what I mean? And so, I just felt like field position was a big part of it. We had a lead, and field position was critical. So, I think when it was 8, yes, I would have kicked in any situation there. That was makeable to get it to a 2-score game.
Mark, it didn't look like Jamarion Wilcox was on the sideline. What's the situation with him?
Yeah, Jamarion was out today. I'll update you this week, but violation of team rules, and I'll give you more information when I can.
Mark, we hear so much about Zach being mature, and what was his mindset heading into the game? Were you happy with the way?
Yeah, I think he was probably pressing. I mean, he seemed fine to me, leading into the game and warming up and all that. But he cares. He wants to play well, and cares about his teammates. And I think he'll look at this film and there's things he could do better. But that'll be the same with everybody that played. Everybody can improve, and hopefully he'll make a big jump and just settle in and play some ball.
Mark, do you come away kind of thinking more about you holding scoreless as a defense for 50 minutes or the 2 touchdowns given up the last night?
A little both. I think going into the game, with their quarterback and what he's capable of. I was quite pleased the way we were containing him for the majority of that game. All you got to do is go to their bowl game last year and watch that, and you want to get aggravated, be the defense coordinator on that, calling that, because that's what he's capable of. And I say that with a lot of respect because, again, he takes shots and getting hit and delivers the football, and they're a resilient team. So it's a good victory, and I'm proud of the way our guys played. I wish we'd have finished a little cleaner on that side of the ball.
Mark, what happened on the safety?
Zach's got to hand the football, bottom line. And we had the edges protected. I think he got a little spooked, but we had it protected. You just got to get some tough yards there.
Grant Godfrey was rotating in quite regularly, a middle linebacker, kind of drive here, drive there. Is that part of the plan, to try to get him forward?
Yeah, and I think a lot of the guys like that. We know it's a long season, and we have to develop our younger players and guys that are coming along, and protect some of our other guys from playing so many snaps.
Mark, we heard from you about Ty sure-handedness. Can you talk about the importance of just catching the ball? How much did that drive you crazy?
he'll get better. I mean, that's a tough thing, in the stadium, we talked about it in the summer and tried to get him as many catches as we could in there. It's different with the wind blowing and the turf and all that, and he'll get more and more comfortable, but it's not an easy job, and he'll do it.
You mentioned the passing game needs to improve. How do you kind of turn that around with just 7 days to go until conference play starts?
Oh, we day to day, through camp, one day may look better than the other. So, we've done some good things, and we'll continue to work, and we're not, by any stretch, going to panic or anything. We just got to get back to work.
How do you feel about?
I also think, that JJ's catch, that was fractions off, and we're really moving early there again, feel a little different. There's things we could do different. We could get to the ball, run a play and not give him time to review it too, but we thought it was a catch. And then, again, as I mentioned, we're fractions off on some others, so we're not far off. I'm sorry.
How about just a quick comment on Chip Trainum's play?
Yeah, Chip, I saw him before the game and I saw him after. I'm very happy for him, very proud for him. And, he's an absolute fantastic young man and a really good player, and he's tough to bring down. And he had a good game, and I give him a lot of credit.
Mark, I don't think anybody's asked about Alex Safari.
Yeah.
I mean, 13 tackles.
Yeah, I knew he had a great day. I didn't know how many tackles or I didn't know his stats or anything, but I know he was around the football. And he's been very, very steady, very good player, great young man again, great leader. So happy for Alex. That's the way he's been playing.